Thanks. I'm just looking at my face. All right, give it a couple minutes for people to come on here, and then once we get moving, right at 7 o'clock, we're gonna get started with our demo and our Q&A. So welcome everybody. I'm going to try my best to keep up with comments as they come in. If you're on now, just leave a comment and let me know where you're joining from. Hey, how's it going? Trying to get my screens all set up so that we can do both the Q&A part and a little bit of a demo with Adobe Illustrator. So we've got Michigan, California. I'm in Baltimore, so it's really cold here. I've got my Baby Yoda blanket and my sweater on. Louisiana. Is it warm there? I feel like that would be so nice right now. It was like 80 degrees on like Thursday last week, and then it was 30 degrees 2 days later. So, oh, Myrtle Beach in Florida. Okay. Hey, Leslie. Canada, yes. Oh my gosh. All right, Leslie, make sure that your screen orientation lock is not on. It's not showing me that I can add you yet. Let's see. God, I feel like that would be so nice right now. We had snow the other day. Not a lot, but enough to be annoying. Oh my gosh, snow in California? That's wild. Okay, sounds good. Also, just so everyone knows, my sign says no bad vibes. It doesn't just say bad vibes, because that might make me look a little crazy. It's cropped right at the spot where it says that. Okay. 40 degrees in Michigan. Ugh. John, what was the temperature today? You can't hear me. I haven't gone outside yet today, as embarrassing as that is to admit. So we're pulling up Leslie now.
Hi.
Hey.
Okay.
Welcome.
Hey. Okay, so send a join request. Do I do that?
Nope, you're on
good?
here. You're good to go.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you
I'm
for
so excited.
being here. This is wonderful. Where in the country are you located?
I'm in Alabama.
Okay. So is it warm where you are now?
It is, yeah, it gets warm today, and it's gonna be stormy a little bit.
Yeah.
So kind of been hot today. It's kind of like 2 days ago it was freezing. Tomorrow it might be snow.
Yep, that's how it is here too. I'm just outside of Baltimore, so
Okay.
it gets real cold. But
Oh yeah, I bet it does. Oh, how do you stand that? Oh my gosh.
I have literally 3 blankets on my couch right now.
Oh my God. I would too. Oh my God.
All right, so we've got people from all over. We've got Canada, Michigan, North Carolina. This is exciting. I think we should give it just a minute or two for anybody who's still hopping on, and then we can go ahead and get started. Oh my goodness. We're right on time.
40 degrees in Michigan. Oh God.
I know.
That sounds so cold to me, and that don't sound like nothing to y'all, probably. But
My sister-in-law lives in Los Angeles, and we went out. My dad was working in San Diego one year, and we went out to visit, and it was like the 1 week of the year there was a heat wave, and so it was like 110 degrees, and I was like, this is just too much for me. So coming home to Baltimore, I was real happy to have the cold.
yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I am.
So let me see if I need to go. Pop it on saying hello. So how many did you have RSVP
So we
for
had
this?
about 100 people. I want to say it was like 117 the last time I
That's
looked.
not
Uh,
bad.
no. And so I don't know how many people are actually going to be able to join us, but oh my God, 80
So
today.
which font do you think I should give away today? I've not
Ooh.
decided. Like honestly, I can
Um,
upload one to the group or do whatever y'all want me to do, but I haven't decided which one to do yet.
I think my favorite so far, let me see, is I did the graceful one. So I downloaded a couple when we first talked, and then the other night I went on and got some more.
Yes.
But I think my favorites, so I printed this so I could show everybody. It's like a sample, and oh, it's going to be backwards.
That's okay.
I'll figure that out. But I think my favorites are Graceful and the Carpe Diem one. And I think they're so good for different reasons.
Yeah,
So
they're
I don't know
they're
how
all
you
my
do it.
favorites. Yeah, they're all my favorites, and it's kind of like they're all my favorites for a
Mhm.
minute. Like whenever I'm doing them, they're my
And then
favorites.
you
Whenever
make
I'm
a new one
releasing,
and it's like,
yeah,
oh my God, this is my new.
yeah. When I write that on those blog posts, and y'all see me write on Facebook, it's this is my favorite one ever. It really is my favorite one ever. But I've been attached to it for like by that time like 18 months or something. So it's like it's practically growing from my side by the time.
Well, they are fabulous, and I couldn't do what I do without you and work like this. So I'm very appreciative. I know everyone in the group is as well. And for everyone watching, if you didn't see my post that I made last night, Leslie is giving us 50% off of her entire website through Friday. So that's an incredible deal. I'm going to be stocking up. I'm going to mention that a few times. The code is GS Makers, and I'll pin that again after the live. But that's so generous, and we're so grateful that you're spending your time with us tonight and being willing to offer us so many
I'm so glad to be
incredible
here.
deals.
I'm so excited.
Yes. All right. I'm going to give it just another minute and then we can just get started. And as people come on, there were a few comments I wrote down for us to talk about that people had mentioned, like just questions about installing and programs and stuff like that. So we'll have plenty to talk about and some projects that we can do.
So somebody said in South Carolina they got swarmed by mosquitoes. Should they check in the mail? I think that South Carolina is going to get the storms we get,
Hmm.
like maybe tomorrow or something. But yeah, I think it's supposed to be pretty bad tonight.
My brother and sister-in-law and my parents were in North Carolina this past weekend, and they went to the beach. They took my nephew and said it was freezing. So I'm like, yeah, I
That's
don't know if I
crazy.
would go to the beach at this time of the year, but
Yeah. Well, there's places out in California that I saw somebody mention they're getting snow that haven't
oh,
had snow in forever or maybe
that's
ever. Crazy,
wild.
crazy,
Well,
crazy.
I see a couple people saying that they either have some of your fonts already or they've purchased with the discount, so that's awesome.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Every one of you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for buying from me. Thank you.
well, you put out great quality and we're just grateful that you spend the time doing it seriously. So, all right. I think I'm going to start with a little demo if that's okay with
Yeah.
you. And that way, just kind of show everybody that they work the same way as regular fonts in terms of setting up your files. And so, for everyone on here, I'm going to post this file in the group. Let me, is that mirrored? Oh, that is backwards. How do I
Mm.
do? All right, I'm going to change my camera around. Oops. We're going to do this for just a second. Bear with me with my technology. Oh my goodness.
I'm looking for the same thing on mine. Go ahead and do it while
I
you're
don't
doing
see it,
yours
so I'm
because
just gonna flip my camera and show you all on my my desk that is covered in paint and stain and whatever else. But so we're gonna do this design together, and it's just a cute little, I put a magnet on the back of it, a cute little flower. And I used two different fonts. I used the Carpe Diem font for where it says I am enough. And then on the inside, I used RSVP font, I believe. Is that the one? Yes.
like it. Mm-hmm.
And did some different like adjectives. So if somebody wanted to make these, you know, for kids to keep in their lockers or to have, you could put it on their mirror so every day they can do their affirmations and, you know, practice positive self-image and things like that. Even for adults too. But I just made a cute little flower, and I'm going to show you all how to, first of all, use your single line fonts, and then kind of type on a path and type in a shape. So we're going to learn a couple things, and then we'll start our Q&A after we do this little demo. But I just wanted to kind of give you all some tips while we're on here as well. So let me pull up my other screen. That's something I'll never get used to, is having how many screens you need to do these. All right, in my Illustrator.
You're doing so good. I wish I was good at doing that. I got to get better at it. I've got to practice.
Well, it just yelled at me. It gave me a pop-up. It's like, you can't turn your phone. So we're gonna hope that this, can you see that okay?
Yeah, you can.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a sample of what we're going to be creating. And if anybody has any questions while we're going through it, just pop them up on the screen and I'll respond as I see them. But I'm just going to show you how easy it is to work with these, and then, you know, we'll hop into our Q&A. So I'm going to put this over here. Okay, so first we just create an oval, and this is the hardest part of the entire thing.
That's not too bad.
Right? So we're going to go to our object. Oh, and for anybody who doesn't recognize this, this is Adobe Illustrator. I have Windows, so this is just on my laptop. And we're going to create that and then go to our object. Oh my God. Did I literally just forget the entire instructions? No, I did not. Okay, we're going to go to repeat, and we're going to do radial. And what that does is it brings up a circle, and it shows you repeating the shape all the way around it, and you can adjust it with the different controls here. So I'm going to click on this little dot and bring them in so everything touches. And then you can decide if you want more or less petals with this arrow here. And so I think that's a pretty good amount. I might add one more. Okay, so that looks like the shape that we've got. And then we're just going to go to Object, Expand, and then hit OK. And then we can come over to our Pathfinder, which I'm just going to move so you all can see it. And with this highlighted, we're going to click Unite. And so it fills everything together except for this tiny little dot where there was no overlap. And we can double click and just delete that out. And that's our outside shape, so our cut line for our little magnet that we're making. And then for our text, we're going to create a circle. So it's going to be the circle shape for the center of the flower, and just line it up where we want that text to go. And then I'm going to copy and paste this and move it off to the side. Oops, paste. I'm trying to see around my phone screen. And then we're just going to take our text tool, and we're going to hover over the outline of that circle, and it's going to give us this little icon that has kind of like a dotted circle around it, and that's going to let us type right in that shape. So let me get my font window out. so that you all can see this. And then we are going to pick SLF, which is single line fonts, RSVP regular. And that's something I absolutely love about these is they are labeled with SLF in the front, so you can find them so easily. Okay, and then I'm just going to type in my affirmation words. Anybody watching want to give me a word to include? Just drop that in the comments, and once I see it, I'll stick it in here with the other ones. And I'm going to actually make my font just a little bit smaller so that everything fits. And this is just like if you're typing with any font. It's not exclusive to single line fonts. You just set it up the same way. Oh, I think I might have used graceful now that I'm looking at it next to it. So I'm going to switch that over. And they're all so gorgeous that you can't, nope, I used Hello Gorgeous. That's the one.
Yeah, yeah, that's one that's a lot like handwriting. It's kind of one of
I
those
love
messy
it.
ones. Yeah.
Worthy, that's good. Worthy,
Worthy.
amazing.
Yes,
Those are
those are
some
good.
good ones. All right, happy.
Grateful.
Ooh, I like that.
Blessed.
Okay. See, these are good. When I was coming up with them yesterday, I was struggling to think of enough words to fill it. All right, I'm going to make my font. We're going to go with 16 and see how that, there we go. We can probably fit one more. Let's see. I'm going to put deserving because that's a good one. I'm deserving of all the good things that come to you. And then what we're going to do next is take our other circle and line it up so it outlines the text that we just made. And we're going to come over to our T icon over here, our type icon, and hold down on the little triangle and do type on a path so that when we bring it over, it gives us a different little squiggle instead of the circle that was around our cursor. And then this is where we can type in, and it could be any affirmation. It could be a name. It could be, you know, whatever
Date,
speaks to
or it could
you.
be, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
special date, or
Yeah,
a
exactly.
poem, if you don't like a poem or something.
And so for me, I just put I am enough because I think that's such like a special one. And I think especially for if this was something that you were marketing, you know, to a younger demographic, that would be a good thing for them to remind themselves. And so, oops, I'm going to make that 18.5 and it goes all the way around that circle. So now you've got your outline of that circle shape. And then all we're going to do from here is the same thing as if you're working with any regular font, is we're going to right click and do create outlines on both of those, I guess text boxes is the word, text circles that we've got. And you can see that the command here, it's also Shift Control O is the keyboard shortcut if that's how you wanted, excuse me, to do it. And then we're going to come over to our stroke and fill, and we're going to make sure that this is on stroke because when we go to put it into the Glowforge or whatever laser you have, it'll default, if it's filled, it'll default to engraving. And so this way it'll default to cut and you'll know, like that'll kind of throw to you, hey, change this to your stroke or to your score. And so it's really that easy. Then you can just group everything together, save your file and send it to your laser. And let me just bring up my Glowforge so you all can see what it looks like when we put it in there. I'm going to save this.
It's so cool to see what you're doing with your screen and stuff because I don't have a Glowforge and I don't know how the the interface is. So it's neat to see you working with it.
And it's honestly, I know a lot of people look at these things and they think that creating files is so complicated, but we did that in 5 minutes, not
Yeah,
even.
you just
And
showed
it's
how easy that can
anybody
be. You made that
can do
so
this.
easy.
And
You
your
did.
licenses include digital, as long as the text is welded and you can't pull the font out of it. Like, that's incredible for designers. And I don't know if you realize how valuable of a resource that is, but it is just
I do.
fantastic.
I do, and I love that. I love that it's so valuable to people because I
Yes.
that's what I get the most out of it is just seeing
There was a
people get
time
use
where
out of
I
them.
tried writing everything out by hand to make my own, like, phrases that I would do. And oh my God, even just doing that is difficult.
It is,
So
and
this,
my
oh,
handwriting's so bad. I'm never happy with it.
you would never know from looking at your fonts because they are gorgeous. Okay, so then this is, if you don't have a Glowforge, anybody who's watching, this is what it looks like when you load things in. Mine's currently off, so the last picture was of this round that I had, but it brings in your design here, and then you can pick your material, and then you can go in and change your settings. So this is what it would look like if I'm about to send it to the laser. Hey, Stephanie. Yes, it's going to have the replay, and then I'm going to also put it on my YouTube channel to make sure that anybody who wants to access it can watch it whatever time. But glad you're here. Welcome. We haven't done our Q&A or anything like that yet, so you're just in time. I was just making a quick little affirmation design so that people can see how easy it is to use these. Okay, and so then all I would do is send this to my laser, and the size, I'm going to switch my camera back around now, actually. Ignore me if I have like 10 chins. Okay. Um, so I did two different sizes. This one took just under 4 minutes, and this one took just under 5. So that's, compared to something that would be engraved on a Glowforge. I know I love my Glowforge. We're a Glowforge positive page here. They are slow when it comes to engraving. So having
I
the
bet they can
capability
be.
to score this much text, it's phenomenal. This probably would have taken, 20 minutes to engrave the whole thing.
That
So
turned out great. That looks
I
so
love it.
good.
They're
Yes.
so fun. And I'm going to post the version that we just created of this file, as well as the one that I went ahead and printed so that everyone can download
Can't
those.
believe the stuff y'all do. I mean, I cannot even believe the stuff y'all do. I mean, it just blows my mind.
I'm out here, so many things running off the top of my head. I got my days mixed up. And so yesterday I'm like, what can I print? And
Yeah.
so for everyone joining us that hasn't seen these, I'm actually going to move my camera back just a little bit. I went ahead and I did a couple projects so that we could show them off to you all. This was just a test, and I'll post photos of everything in the group as well. So if anyone needs these resources, you're welcome to them. This is an 8x10 design, matches my earrings. It does, yes. See? And that would be so easy. You could score text right on there. This took 15 minutes to score all this text. If I were to engrave something like this, it would take an hour at least. And you all know I'm like the engraving queen. I love those. Erin, I see you just hopped on here. You are team scoring all the way. These fonts are perfect for you. It only took 15 minutes to do. I did the alphabet 5 times. So like that's pretty awesome. And then I did this, which is a drawing of my husband and I at our wedding. And then I scored one of the readings that we had my brother read during the ceremony, all of this text. And so the engraving itself took 35 minutes, which is a long time. But then scoring all that text took like 28 minutes, which some people might say, that's a lot of
A lot
text. If you were
of
to
text, yeah.
engrave this entire thing, it probably would have taken an hour and a half to do the whole thing. So the fact that you can cut your time down, thanks, Erin. And you can, there's so
Yeah.
many things that you can do with it. anybody on here who does the, oh yeah, we are going to address that for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Let's jump right in. We'll start our Q&A. We'll start with that
Mhm.
question, Leslie, whenever you're ready.
Well, there are so many ways to do that. Basically, if I were in Illustrator, and I try to not do this too much, but when I get so technical, I tell people to do something. What I would do is, but if I had Illustrator, what I would do is, and I had it like my fonts, I would use the Font Lab pad version and erase the extra line, so y'all just have one line. The good thing about that is too, if you have some that connect, you can connect the letters to one another, and you have just one pass for the whole word, which is so amazing. I don't know how to do that in Illustrator, but I've got a quick video, like a 2-minute video, where I did it in Pazzles. So if you guys will watch that sometime, it'll show you how to do it, just like your software will be a little differently. But what you can do is you can take the FontLab pad format and just erase all those closure lines. And what to look for on them is the stumbling block might be if you ever have any single lines like the crossbar on a T, just keep in mind that there's two of them. Like you'll have to erase one because it looks like there's just one, but like they're so easy to do. And then you can join them together on the cursive one. So that's what I would do. But then
On
it just
the
depends on
Glowforge side.
how much you're wanting to just do that one score.
Yes.
Because yeah, I also would say, some of the other programs that take OPF fonts are so easy to use and get SVGs out of, and they're coming so far. They're coming along so far
And you
with
have
new
all those
versions and stuff. So
instructions on your website,
yeah,
right? Of the different
yeah.
programs that people can use. And I'll
So
make sure to link that for everyone. Um, I believe you said Pazzles was one. What are the other ones that you can go in and is it Font Lab?
okay,
And
so well the OPF fonts, so those are a format that are usable in like 3 software programs. And I think the Solo has come out now, and you can use it in that software. But Pazzles, which Pazzles is out of business now, so I wouldn't advise anybody to go download that software, but it's my favorite. But Shortcuts a lot has just come out with a version number 6, and those guys at there's a Facebook group, Leo and Mike, that have this group. Gosh, they know so much about that software. I would definitely say if you want an OPF like option, to go with Shortcuts a lot, because it's being actively like kept up with.
mhm.
You know, it's not an old one that somebody. Shortcuts a lot and Puzzles, both are software is just sitting there.
And
So,
with that, you can export as SVG.
yes, you
Is
can
that yes?
export it as SVG and then bring it into whatever program you want.
So that's a
So,
way to
and
get around the double line completely.
that's one way. And then another way is Inkscape.
Hmm.
So Inkscape, you can do. I've got some SVG fonts that are for Inkscape for the
Okay.
Hershey text extension. Those are super easy to use. After you go through learning it one time and stick it in the right place,
Hmm.
you would not believe how much you would love my Inkscape fonts. So those are fun. I love my Inkscape fonts. They take
I learned on
forever.
Inkscape, so I think it's
They
a
Yeah,
wonderful
they
program.
took forever to build, so they're a little more expensive. I think I do flat 20 for all of them
Hmm.
because they took me so
Oh,
long
for
do. And I
sure.
just have 3 or 4 of them, but I hope to make some more. If I knew people would be interested in it, I think I could make a lot more of
Hmm.
them, but there's not a lot of interest in the Hershey text fonts. People
Well,
just don't know what they are.
yeah, that's one thing is why we have you on here to kind of let everyone know
Yeah.
the different options that are available. So for those of you who want to avoid it going over the letter twice, there are resources on the Single Line Fonts website that can, teach you how to do that and how to install that extension and things like that. And for those of you who are fine with it scoring twice, just adjust your settings accordingly. You know that it's gonna double up, and it's not like outlines or anything. It's just scoring over the same section. So it just makes it a little bit deeper in there. So if you're noticing that it's scoring too deep, you can change your settings to be a lower power, maybe even a lower speed a little bit to make sure that you said it was like burning a little bit. So play with your settings. Do a test card kind of like I did with your different fonts. I mean, I did I didn't put any spaces between the letters. And so this way you can see how they overlap. And if you want something that's, very uniform throughout, you can use one of the print ones and just do some practices before you run your final print to make sure. Um, and also test your sizes. So I noticed that when I did the Hello Gorgeous a little bit smaller, there were a few spots that the laser head was bumping. And so that's because I think it was just a little bit too fast and too small. So that's something that could be avoided by running a test and just nailing in your settings and keeping a notebook of the different settings that work for you. Sorry, I didn't mean to totally go on a tangent there, but I think practice, especially with how quick scoring is, you can, set aside an hour one weekend, do a test card and practice all of your settings. And then once you have them down, you won't even have to worry about figuring out how to use those extensions to get rid of the double scoring. So, I mean, both ways there are adjustments that you can make and things that you can do to get around that. Um, it just all depends on what you want to put into it.
Yeah. Stephanie's asking about uploading to Illustrator and needing to fix the closed path. Stephanie, are you talking about the FontLab Pad version that I was talking about, or are you talking about the TTF fonts?
Okay, Stephanie gave us some settings, 230 and 30. That sounds good to me. I think I used the draft settings, which were like 345, and it was a little bit too fast in my opinion, but that's a good baseline for anybody watching that wants to write that down.
Okay, so Stephanie, you were asking if you need to fix the closed paths that are created when you expand the font. Are you meaning what I was referring to by taking the FontLab Pad version and doing the little trick with it and erasing the lines? Or are you talking about something more with the TTF font where it's going double?
So your question, Stephanie, about fixing the closed paths that are created when you expand it, that's when you're just using the regular version in Illustrator, or are you talking about bringing it in from another program like we mentioned? I think the first.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you could manually go in and make those edits if you want to. It depends on, how meticulous you want to be with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go in, I've got Illustrator still on my screen here, and put everything in outline mode and then just go in and delete some of the anchor points and make adjustments as I want to there. But I don't know if I would say it's worth doing that.
Yeah, that would be a lot because you would
Yeah.
have to take all those segments and
I think I would recommend either getting one of the programs that you can put the fonts into and just export your text out that way. Because you can always bring in your SVG that you've created in another program to Illustrator, and then you'll have it as the true single line, and you can go from there. You do have Inkscape, Cricut, and Silhouette.
yeah. Oh,
Yes.
you've got all kinds of options. Oh my goodness. You can do it with any
And
of those,
those
literally
are all
any of
on
them.
your website with the instructions. So if you
Yeah,
are a beginner, she's got it all. There's a tab that says instructions and it's broken down by the different programs.
yeah. It's at the top. There's an instruction thing
Mhm.
on the top of the website.
Now I've never used, hey Allison, I've never used Cricut Design Space because I've never had one. But you can't export SVGs from there, can you? Do you know?
No, you can't. You can import them though.
Okay.
So,
Would you say, Leslie, what's your preferred program to use?
oh gosh, they've all got their benefits. They've all got their benefits. I didn't think I liked Cricut software at all, but lately I've been a little surprised by what I've learned that that software can do. But I would say out of the ones on the market, the most powerful, simplest one is Shortcuts a lot. That Shortcuts a lot 6, and it guys so easy. You just take the OPF font and it goes so easy. And there's, if you look on my website, I think there's, or maybe on YouTube, there might be a video also that I've made of it
Mm-hmm.
in those different
Okay, let's see.
programs.
And they do have it, it says that it works with Android and iPad. They have a
an app
I
that you
don't
can
I
download?
don't know about Android and iPad for single line fonts particularly. I don't
Oh,
know how to
okay.
test them. I just don't know much about them. So they may work on an iPad or may not. I just
Mm-hmm. Oh,
if
I
I knew
just
how
Googled
to
shortcuts a
if I
lot.
knew how to know that or how to find out the information, I
Oh,
would find it out and make sure it's
Stephanie,
written
you've
into it, but
got
I don't know
that
how to do
too.
it. Yeah. No,
Stephanie,
you
you've
cannot.
got everything.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people say that you can't, so I get emails every once in a while, but I don't know if there are people out there that are successful with it. Yeah. I use Lightburn single lines look jagged for some reason. Hmm. Can you send me a screenshot of it, Allison?
Allison, I'm just about my I got the email that my Mira is being assembled. So once I get Lightburn, maybe we can do like a refresher a little later on this year, and go over that as well.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna
But
do
if, yeah, if you can send that over to Leslie, she should be able to help you. Did you load it to your iPad using iPhone? I haven't done that yet. So when I do my text for all of my SVGs, I do it mostly on my laptop just because I like typing on it better.
it.
But I am going to, so if you all probably know, I'm working on my Illustrator class, so that's going to be a whole section is adding fonts and importing them. And with Leslie's permission, I'll feature some single line fonts and see what we can do there,
Oh, thank you.
just to show how to use them, and I'll make sure to include links. Oh, okay, Tracy, that sounds real fancy. That's awesome. I mean, anybody in this group, you're all creative and you're all, what's the word I want? Determined to make it happen. So there are going to be workarounds for everything.
Yeah,
You just,
creatives will always find a
mhm.
workaround. We'll always find out how to get there a different way.
So Allison, you can use, there's an extension in Inkscape that does make them true single line. And then you should be able to save that SVG and input it into Lightburn, I believe.
Yeah. So Inkscape is, I would say in Inkscape to use the SVG fonts, which are on, like it's a different menu. I think I've got 4 of them, 3 or 4. There's not many of them because they take a long time to make those Hershey text
Mm-hmm.
extension fonts. But
But they're beautiful. I just put
God,
them
they're
up right now.
so
Oh
easy
my
to
God.
use. Oh
Oh,
God, y'all, they're so, if y'all ever started using, because I mean, Inkscape's free. So you
mm-hmm.
have a free program and the Hershey text extension, some guy like in the 1950s made this, it's amazing, and he made these fonts and stuff and nobody's really ever
That's
touched them since then.
cool.
And they're, yeah. And I mean, they were really good ones, but today's standards are a little different. Like what we can do with them is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Do you have glyphs? I don't think, do any of your fonts include the glyphs with like the alternate like swashes?
I don't have any that have like the swirls and stuff and hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any of those, but I've got alternate glyphs for like joining letters, like 2
Mm-hmm.
T's together, or like if it's an A at the end of the word, I want it to look different. I'll do one for that. So I make a lot of them, but I've never ventured into that
Mm-hmm.
making the fancy endings and stuff. Or I could, but I think it would be fun. I need to try to do that on some of mine
Mm-hmm.
the next
That might
time.
be something that would be cool if you do come out with any. We could do a,
Yeah.
like a demonstration of that as
Yeah,
well.
that's good too for recipe boards and cards and things to have,
Mm-hmm.
some little swirly things to put. That would be good.
Oh. See, Tracy, I found that Inkscape was difficult when I first started it. And then I
Yeah.
hated Illustrator when I was first learning how to use it for lasers in particular. And I was like, nope, I'm an Inkscape girl all the way. Um, and I found that I had to do a lot of like YouTubing, and I made myself a cheat sheet of all the different like commands and Pathfinder things. And then once I had that, it felt a little easier to me. But I think it's set up very similar that once you get comfortable with one, you can kind of
Right. And
intuit a little.
one thing about Inkscape too is if you're talking about not being real user friendly. I kind of agree with that a little bit. And also, they're like a what do you call it? Like their users are the ones that build the software and have their own forums and stuff and do all their stuff. So They do an amazing job with it though. I don't even know how they do all that. But if you go into it, the only thing you have to do in Inkscape if you want just the text is just type it out and save it as SVG. So I know what you're talking about. It could be kind of glitchy and stuff, but for just single line text, I'd say go try it because y'all,
I'm gonna
it's
have to download that and maybe I'll look at that this week.
if I knew that if I knew that people had more interest in
Mhm.
these Hershey text fonts, I would do more of them.
And so they only go over each letter once. Is that
Mhm.
I'm understanding
Yeah,
correctly?
they're so easy to use. I hope somebody uses one and comes back on and says,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I had good luck with it, or gives me some good feedback, or
I'm
not,
definitely gonna
whatever. But
check
yeah,
extension. I've never like set up any of those extensions before, so that's something to look into for sure. Allison, are you trying to send the image? It might be easier
if you want to
to
messenger it to me, I can try to find your my stranger danger folder over here and see if I can
the
find
Inkscape extension. It's called the Hershey font extension
Hershey text
or Hershey
extension.
text. Yes. Hey,
Yep.
Brittany.
What one is it, Allison? If you want to find me click on my name up there and then just messenger it to me.
All right, I've got a whole to-do list of things I want to try out. I'm gonna get shortcuts a lot. I'm gonna get the Hershey text. That's exciting though,
It
because
is, it really is. I'm telling you that there's just so many things. And I think that we can all learn from each other. I think
mm-hmm.
the cricket people can learn from the puzzles people, and the puzzles
Oh, for
people can learn from the Stilla
sure.
people. Like we're all
And
just one big family.
if I did this in Inkscape instead, it would have been 8 minutes instead of 15, and that's
Yes,
unheard
that's
of for
huge.
an 8 by 10 text. I mean, this probably would have taken me 10 minutes to score all of that because it wouldn't have had to do that.
Yeah,
So
and two,
anybody, oh my God.
if you ever make the decision and decide to join them,
Mm-hmm.
let's see if there's an SVG font. You can even do those. Yes, you could do it with hand lettered. So on hand lettered, you could actually take it and weld the text and make it not be text, and then join all the letters together so that one word is just one, except for
Mm-hmm.
the crosses, the T's, and the dots. One word is one leaf. Y'all wouldn't believe how fast your machines will go when you do that. It's like boom. So those are
Stephanie,
kind of
it
fun.
is single line fonts with an S.com. And I'm thinking if you're looking for neon signs, this one is called Carpe Diem and it comes in the Hershey text extension as well. And I think that would probably be wonderful for doing that for neon signs.
Yeah, I've got some people that make neon signs that they
Mm-hmm.
use my fonts. And I did one for one girl. I outlined my font for her because she needed like a little bit of a wider one or
Oh.
something. But I did that and sent her like she needed something different. And I did that. So if
Mm-hmm.
y'all ever need me to like work on them, I can do that.
I mean, even if you
Yeah.
were doing like those like oh baby ones, you could probably use the more ornamental, I guess is the word, like
Yeah, like the
the
little handwritten
graceful
ones.
with like the loops and things. That would be really cool. Um, but there's just so many for anybody who's just joining us or who wasn't here earlier. Okay, Stephanie, I will make a note right now to message them to you. I'm writing it
Go
down.
on Messenger and see if I've got any. And you can send it
Oh,
to me
I found
later,
it. Perfect.
if you
Yes, Leslie, these ladies are the ones to know. Brittany, Stephanie, and Nitra. They do the neon signs and they are fantastic at it. I took a class with them a couple weeks ago and I have it on my list to like go crazy with those designs. So
Oh, fun.
they're wonderful and they could use these for sure.
That's like a step back in time. I love
Yeah.
that. I love finding people that find new ways to use my fonts. That just charges me. I love it so much.
So that was one of the questions that I had written down was other than, all of us who have lasers, what do you find that people tend to use these for?
Oh God. So like engraving,
Mm-hmm.
so class rings, that type of
Oh,
thing, wedding invitations, what's it called? Not Glowforge, but
now with
The We Are
the,
Memory Keepers,
mhm,
Full Quill, those folks use single line fonts also, and
for the
recipe board
Cricut?
signs, and yeah,
Can you do it
Cricut.
with like the marker and then it like does the fonts?
Yeah. So you have,
That's so
your basic machine like
cool.
this, which you guys have. See if it'll even show it. Nah, it may not. But this is my machine,
Hmm.
and it's just, it's the Pazzles machine is just like the Cricut machine, because Pazzles, they helped Cricut make their machine at
Oh,
the beginning, and so they're made the same, like their blade
hmm.
housings and stuff are all the same, but so it just has a little pin tool that drops down, and it it's so easy and fun and addictive, very addictive.
Yes. And I know a lot of the people in this group started with Cricut or Silhouette, and
Yes.
so there's so many different things that these fonts could be brought into for,
Hmm.
the combination signs that we do, or for
Yes.
a lot of people are now doing like the acrylic invitations,
Hmm.
and so you could
Oh,
score that on the laser, and
yes, those are
it's so cool.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
The
let's
most
see.
interesting thing I think I've ever had was a man wrote to me that he was an airplane engineer, and he like made blueprints for them, and he sent me a picture of a toothpick, and at the end of the toothpick was letters, and
Oh
the
my
letters were
God.
smaller than the tip of the toothpick, and he
Oh,
needed
that's
it for
wild.
serial numbers and like stuff on his, and he used those, and that was the most interesting thing I think I've had with single line fonts, is that
That's
one.
really cool.
Yeah. I've had children's memory boards. There's a place over in England that does these memory boards, like a Becca curriculum kind of. Those are fun. There's a wind chime website called Whimsical Winds, I think. They've got my stuff, so it's kind of fun to see them out there.
That's
They're
wild
like,
that you're everywhere, and
yeah,
this is like such like a niche market. There aren't that many people putting out these, quality single line fonts, and the fact that you have, you know, over a dozen on your website that we can just go pick out
yeah.
is just awesome.
I
And
think I've got
oh
39
my
now.
gosh. Yeah.
About to hit
See,
the big 40 on them, I think. But
oh, that's really exciting.
yeah, like I said, they're all my little babies. I look back over them and I'm thinking, oh, I remember that one. I remember doing that with that. I remember the problem that one gave
How
me.
long
They're like my
does
children.
it usually take you to create one?
From start to finish, about 18 months,
Wow.
maybe 2 years on some of them, but it depends
Oh
on.
my
Mm.
gosh. See, I can't imagine spending that much time like perfecting it, but you really do. They're perfect.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yes.
you. I appreciate that so
I'm
much.
so
Y'all,
impressed. I'm so glad that you wanted to come on here and chat with us because
thank
this is
you. Thank
something
you so
that
much.
I can't even imagine where you would start with this. And so you also have on your website, you have some single line designs as well. And so I'm
Hmm.
looking now, you've got like the first page, there's a basketball and some banners and a butterfly. And
Yeah.
so anybody who's looking for some scoring designs as well
Hmm.
can start there. Um, and so do you plan to expand that as well? Or are you just focusing on the
Yeah,
fonts?
I do. I would actually, I need to get a lot more
Mhm.
designs up. I've got all kinds of ideas for designs I could put on there, and
That's really
those
cool.
aren't that hard to do. I just don't have, I don't take the time to get in
Mhm.
there and update them. But I need to do more. If y'all have ever got any requests or anything, just shoot them my way, and I'll do one.
Well, I'm just looking now, and even you've got some patterns on here. So, what I do a lot of is like I make little scoring patterns. So, like out of these flowers, I would make like a background that people could put anything on. But you've got some that are really pretty on here that have the different, like, I don't know how to say that word, quatrefoil. Is
The
that how you?
quadruple, I
Yeah.
guess is how you say that. Yeah, I like that too.
Like,
It's
they're
kind of
really
different.
pretty.
Thank
And
you
so
so much.
I had never seen this, and once we started chatting, and you've got some mandalas on here, and I mean the people who like to do things on cutting boards or who want to offer, ornament designs, like these would be really great
Hmm.
for that. There's some teacher designs on here, so anybody who hasn't been to the website, if you're looking for some designs, that's a good place to start. Um, Gosh, I just keep scrolling and seeing like these borders. These are gorgeous.
Do I teach how to do my own? You mean like make them in the software? Not really, because I don't even know how I begin to do it. I've got so many notebooks of I take these notebooks like this, and for each font I have, there's about five of these. So with all the stuff I
Oh my
do, I don't even
goodness.
know how I begin to tell somebody how to do.
Well,
But
we're very
eh,
appreciative of you putting that time in because I don't know how you do it.
well, it takes I don't even know.
hmm But that's the awesome thing is that with your licensing, so you've got on here personal licenses and then commercial licenses, and instead of limiting by quantity of like products put out, you limit by desktops and machines, correct?
I do. And my commercial, I've got a license that has two for the commercial and two for the personal. I'm
hmm
updating that. It's going to be five for
Okay.
businesses, because I mean you need to have more than two
hmm
machines to use if you've got a business. So I'm if y'all are out there and you have one of those licenses that says two, just wait a minute and you're going to get an update on your font in your email. You'll get a little thing that says, we've updated your font, and it'll be the license. And so what I try to do is put the little changelog files in there, and it'll just say licensure or something. So
Awesome. So we've got two questions. First is there any way to purchase all at once?
yeah, right.
Do you have a bundle?
I do. It's what I had done. I do have 50% off sales
Mhm.
sometimes, and
Which we're
so
doing right now, everybody. There's a code in the group for half off, so keep that in mind.
mhm.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Thank you so much for mentioning that. But I have sometimes I do 50% off sales, so I will do a 60% off. If you want to buy all my fonts, I'll do 60% off, and say, that'd be a little bit extra.
Mhm. And so
So
should they just message you if they plan to do
yeah,
that? Okay.
just send me an email and I'll work it out for you.
And what is your email address?
It's info@singlelinefonts.com.
Okay.
And
So
then you
anybody
can
listening
also
who
find me
wants
on the
to,
website.
yeah.
There's a chat
Um,
feature on the website,
cool.
and I keep my phone on me all the time. So I chat all day with people. I'll be going out to eat at a restaurant or something, and I'll say, "I'm sorry guys, I gotta go to the car. Gotta go to the car and check a text or something." But
Well, and just as somebody who does digital things, 60% off is a fantastic deal. And anybody on here who wants to scoop that up, definitely reach out because there are so many things you can do with these. And then Jessica had asked what your background is. Um,
I started out just scrapbooking, and a bunch of years ago, like 20 something years ago, when my kids were little, I scrapbooked and I had Pazzle software. There was a different one then, and we could do single line fonts in it, like we could make our own, but it was just for that software. So I made some for that. And Pazzles, us ladies in Pazzles, we were doing this before anybody else. So, like we were doing this with our pen tools 30 years ago,
that's
25 years ago.
wild.
Yeah. So I mean, the technology's been there for a long time. Just nobody cared to
hmm
figure out how to do it. And but I always wanted to figure out how to make. I wanted to figure out how to make true type fonts be one line, but you can't do that. So, but I was like, I'm still gonna do it.
hmm
So I figured out different ways of doing it, and I still want to do, like, I want to figure out how to do the embroidery fonts and how to do, like, I read SHX. What is that? How do I do that? How do I get to the point that I can make my fonts be, in the hands
See,
of more
this is
people?
all
I
so
just
technical, and that's just so impressive to me.
thank you.
Uh,
I've got 39, Stephanie, right now,
and
but
Stephanie,
I've
you
got about,
asked
yeah.
about purchasing all at once. Just shoot her an email, and she'll send you a coupon code if you wanted to buy all of them. She'll send you a 60% off.
Yes.
Um, God, oh my God, I can't even. Like I'll sit there and with my iPad try and write words out, and even doing that, like I'll be like, no, this just looks terrible. So like,
Mhm.
this is just wild.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. And I love them. I still do that. Even after all this much time, I still go, God. Yeah, it's it's pretty fun. It's pretty amazing. And I'm blessed beyond measure. Every day of my life I'm blessed. I'm grateful for every one of you that buy from me. Thank you so much. If there's any way I can make my fonts better for you guys, let me know. If there's different ways I can make them a
Well, I love
different
knowing
way or
that there's
something.
these different options available if we wanted to get around the scoring twice. because I didn't even know that was a possibility. And I'm just happy to have something that's faster than engraving, you know? So
Yeah,
it's really cool to know the different ways.
it is fun. It is fun. It is fun. So yeah, so if I was going to give you guys a font, which font do y'all want?
Oh my gosh.
It's just for the guys here now.
Yeah.
How about I
So
give you a coupon code for a free font?
for everybody that's on here right now, it looks like there's 13 of us. Pull up single line fonts, and the first person to throw out a font, that's the one we're going to go with.
Can I put it on this one, or do I have to email it to you guys?
We can just, if you want to say it, we can write it down, and that way everyone, she's going to be so gracious and give us all a font. So we're going to get a free font for those of you who are here. And that's incredible. And
yes.
Allison, we talked about it a little bit earlier, that Hershey extension for Inkscape and a couple other programs that are mentioned on the Single Line Fonts website. There are ways to create your SVG so that you don't have to have it score twice. So it all depends on, you know, how intricate or you want to be with the process. All right, jelly bean.
Jelly beans are good, but jelly beans. Okay, jelly bean it is. I just wish I knew how to get it to you guys. So let me think here. There's 13 of you.
Well, if you put in a code and have it just be active for whatever,
like 20 minutes or something.
Does it let you do that? I don't know.
Yeah,
if not,
so
I can collect emails. It's whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it be active for just a little while. You guys go grab it, and then if you miss it, then text me back. It's just for people that are live right now.
Yes.
For you guys,
all 11 people here. This is awesome. That's one of the ones that I didn't grab, so that makes me really happy.
Use code 11. There's your code.
Spelled out.
Yep. Let me go set it up for you guys real quick.
Is it going to be the numbers or, oh, there you go.
It's going to be spelled out, just the, and I'll give y'all a,
and this is also, thank you for everyone who's hopped on here to do this with us, because I know there's been some drama in the group over me using the tag to tell everyone we have like lives coming up. There have been a couple people who've given me a hard time for doing the everyone tag. And I just don't want anyone to miss out, because we have awesome opportunities like this, you know, where we get to learn from the experts in your fields. And the fact that you gave us a 50% off was incredible to start with. And now getting a free font just for being here, like, this is amazing. And so I hope you all appreciate this as much as I do, and give Leslie a very heartfelt thank you for spending her evening with us.
Be one per customer. All right, guys, I'm making it for $5.95 discount, so don't go on there and use your code. Just go get it. Go and put 11 in. It'll give you $5.95 off your order. Just get one font with it. Just go get a font.
So
just go pick out what you want. Go pick out a font.
That's incredible. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Did everyone hear that okay? We get to go on the website, and she set it up that code 11, ELEVEN, gives you the price of one font, $5.95 off, and you can pick one font.
Yeah, just go ahead and check out, like, with it by itself before you put discount codes in, like, or whatever. So just go ahead and check it out by itself, and then,
That is phenomenal. Does anyone have any more questions before we wrap up? I know we've been on here about an hour, but
you're welcome.
Gosh, I could talk about this all night.
Thank you guys. Oh my gosh, thank you guys for having me. It's so nice. It's such an honor. Oh my goodness.
Like, best kickoff to, we're gonna do like a maker series and a you know, feature different suppliers and things like that. So this is just awesome.
I think that's awesome. I love it that y'all are doing this. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see the other ones. So are you going to do it once a week, or do you know?
I'm trying for every other week, just because I work full time and then run my business and then doing this on top of that. So I'm trying to make it where I don't take too much time away from everyone else's day, because I know you're all busy. But we're going to aim for an hour every 2 weeks. And if you want to come back on later this year, that would be awesome. And
I would
whenever
love
you
to.
have a new font, just pop on the group and let us know. So
Thank you.
we will
I appreciate it so
definitely,
much.
we
All right.
trust you. You are fantastic. And we just appreciate the reminder of, hey, I've got this, promotion going on, or
Yeah.
I just listed a new one. So
Thank you so much. I definitely will. And I definitely
good.
will keep in touch. Thank you guys so much for having me.
All right, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and end the live. Don't forget to check out with your free font using code 11. And don't forget that the 50% off sale is running through Friday. So that if there's anything else you want to grab, and if you decide you want to buy the whole collection, reach out to Leslie via email or chat on the website, and she'll get you hooked
All
up.
right.
So thank
I'm
you
gonna
all for
close this
being
down.
here.
It's 6:55 right now. I'm closing down at 7:15. So is that okay?
Okay. All right. Yes.
Thank you guys.